also.
I am recording for a podcast as well. So here we are. We are live on Facebook.
Yes, and very, very warm welcome for all the people who are watching. But of course, our most important, our guest speaker, Anna Mudeka. Very welcome here.
Thank you.
It's an honor to have this interview with you. Claudia is going to introduce you because she knows much more about you than I do. So,
Thank you.
Claudia.
Well, thank you, Anna. It's an honor and a pleasure to see you here again online this time and to have you here as a monthly guest speaker at Conscious World Agents. And you and I go back a long, long time.
Oh, yes.
And we even think maybe lifetimes. So, but yeah, it's such a wonderful day for me to have you here and as our guest speaker, and you as the founder of Tambai Productions, the director of this beautiful company that is very much involved with the arts and the creative side of music, storytelling from the Zimbabwean culture. And please correct me if I say something or I forget something.
No, carry on.
You are this amazing woman that is incredibly creative and really carries the heritage from Zimbabwe in her, and you have brought it also to the UK, where I met you. I met you in Scotland at a drum village in Glen Isla many months ago, and you played the Embira, and you did the songs, and you told the stories, and you did shared the dances, and I was just like, you know, glued on your wisdom and your energy, and we just connected from that point on. And now we are here to speak about conscious leadership, as you are this woman who has done this tour in 2019 and brought this whole one-woman tour through the UK, I think over more than 45 places. You've had so many awards. I mean, I don't even know where to start.
That's amazing.
Creative awards, enterprise awards, and you've set up this wonderful foundation, the Mudeka Foundation in Zimbabwe, and you give so much back to the community for the children there. And it's just incredible. You are such an inspirational woman, and we are just delighted to be with you here today. So,
well, thank you so much for the invite. I was just so excited. If this is how we're gonna meet for now, it's just exciting. But you know, I'm sure we'll meet again in person, and that's, you know, that's my dream.
Yeah, it would be lovely, really.
Yeah, it would be really lovely.
So, Anna, I don't know you that well. I heard a lot of stories from Claudia, but also I think a lot of our people who watch this don't know you that well. Can you tell a little bit your background, your story up till now? Not every day, please, but
I will try and tell just a little bit so that people. So my name is Anna Mudeka, and I grew up in Zimbabwe from the age of 0 to the age of 18, when I then moved to the United Kingdom. I grew up with my grandmother and my grandfather, who were the two people who probably really, really inspired me to be the person that I am today. And I've taken so much of what I do from how they brought us up. So since coming to the UK when I was 18, I've worked with various bands, and I also worked with a lot of different bands in Zimbabwe. From the age of 14, I went professionally in music. So when I came to England, I studied music again and went to college just to understand the similarities, I suppose, and the difference between Western music and African music. So I did a 2-year diploma. And in 2001, I set up Tambai Promotions to work and share my culture with within the school sector of the United Kingdom, and also set up a community group, which allowed us to access funding to work in the community. And I felt, there was a need to really share the excitement that Africa brings for me, the passion I've got for Africa. The music was the tool that I still use to communicate with people.
Beautiful.
Go on, you go.
But you also told your grandparents they were a big inspiration for you. And of course, if I ask what was the best insight, that it is too much, but can you share some of these insights, why they inspired you? What did they do?
Oh, I hope your questions just carry on being excellent like that, because so my grandmother was the musician in the family. So she would sing at funerals, she would be invited when a child is born in our township. And she really connected with the young people as well, who I suppose who were having trouble with talking with their own parents about issues. They came and talked to my grandmother. But one thing my grandmother said to us, it was a family of 2 boys and 8 girls. My grandmother didn't treat us any different.
Yeah.
And she very much said, you know what you want to do with your life. Whether you want to be a musician, whether you want to be a teacher, whether you want to drive a truck, you are the person who knows what you want to do. So she never stopped us from taking the career of music. And that was really challenging in a culture where your children doing music, your boys, well, they're going to be useless, aren't they? Your girls, who's going to marry them? But she saw something, she just aspired us to be who we wanted ourselves to be. And I'm forever grateful. My grandfather was more reserved, I suppose. So my grandfather was the one, you shouldn't wear trousers, you shouldn't wear mini skirts, you should, represent yourself so that the boys in the village will know that you are possible marriage material. But what he taught me was business. He was very much focused in making us dream outside the village, the township we grew up in, that there was more to this township. He used to take us to the airport to see the aeroplanes take off and land. And those were just the little seeds that he was planting in our heads. He would go and buy a piece of land, and you would find old buildings to knock down, and brick by brick, we would all help as a family to take old bricks from this derelict place so that he can build a new house. Yeah. And he was always, all the girls were able to learn to drive. He would teach us to drive, to ride a bike. It was all him, really, the business side of what inspired me to be who I am today.
Wow, I like that very much, because what I hear is that your grandmother helped you to explore more the creative sides, the feminine side, and the caring. And your grandfather was more about business, was more about, okay, what's the goal? How can you use your mind also? So it's the heart and mind connection was both there. At least that's how I perceive it. And it's wonderful.
Just you talking, I'm feeling they're here.
Yeah.
I feel their presence so much. Their body is gone, but their spirit was too powerful to just disappear in thin air. They're still very much part of me, and I'm forever communicating and asking for advice, because I know that they're still there.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, and that takes me to this next question about what we were gonna sort of we made a sort of plan to talk about certain things, but it always goes wherever it needs to go, and I love that. But this is really about consciousness, conscious world agents. We really feel that the world is becoming more aware of how our actions have an effect on whatever we do. you know, whatever we think has an effect and all that. So we're becoming more aware of the choices we make and so forth. So as you say, they're still with you, and they were really like your mentors. But also, and I also know that you, from a very young age, went to Japan. You know, which is a great Embira player to play for audiences that were, you know, just people. He was one of the best, I understand, Embira players from Zimbabwe. And you were very young. How old were you then, Anna?
I was 16.
Yeah. So that was a huge thing to go there, and it was. I mean, I understand he was quite high up in the.
Yes, his name was Effort Mujuru, and again, you know, I always feel like my ancestors help direct me and kind of make me walk in a road that perhaps sometimes it has obstacles, but sometimes they really open the road for me. And the way I met Effort Mujuru was purely because I was a curious 16-year-old who wanted to learn the Embira. And he looked at me and he said, I'd been looking for him for weeks. You know, he was the teacher at the music college, but nobody knew where Effort was every time I turned up. So this day I found him, and I said, well, I've been looking for you because I want to learn to play the Embira. He was amazed. He was just, you've been looking for me, a girl, a 16-year-old girl coming to look for me. And he's like, you like Embira? So I said, yes, and I want you to be able to teach me. And within a couple of minutes, he was inviting me to Japan.
Wow.
And he said to me, how would you feel about coming to Japan for the tour that I've got? I didn't have a passport. I'd never left Harare. You know, my world was very, very small. And all of a sudden, the celebrity life just went, you know. Our passport was out in two days, when normal passports in Zimbabwe took months and months to get through. We were rushed from one place to the next, and the next thing I know, I'm sitting in business class flying to Japan, staying in 5-star hotels. In my young eyes, I look back and I think to myself, what an opportunity. What a great opportunity. And again, you know, I rushed home and said, Grandma, Effort Mujuru wants me to go to Japan with him for 3 weeks. And she said, go. It was just like, yeah, you know, she didn't question anything. She trusted us so much. And I think trust is a really, really important thing, even between children, between adults, between us as humans. We need that trust to be able to believe that somebody knows what you're saying and believes you.
That's so beautiful. Yeah, and I love that story, as you well know. And I will talk a little bit more about the Embira because, you know, I also had a few beautiful encounters when the Embira came in my life, working with Chartwell, and then Hero and bless his soul, and with you yourself, and the stories and what the Embira actually is about. Is quite a phenomenal story, and I would like you to share some more of that as well later. But really to go back to this level of consciousness that we are seeing, that people are becoming more and more aware of that. In the West, we're also, you know, learning more about that everything is energy and so forth. That has been something that a lot of people have not been connected with. It was very much, the focus was on education and so forth, but not really on raising our frequency, our vibration, our emotional intelligence level, or spiritual intelligence levels, and our conscious intelligence levels. But as I know from some of my friends in the African continent and like yourself, that has been something that's really big in your culture. And you're also very much work with the ancestors still. You know, you're standing really on the shoulders of your ancestors. And I wonder, how does this then affect the conscious decisions you make, like as a director of your company or things that you choose to do in your life? How do you integrate that in your life as such?
It's interesting because, like you say, I think indigenous cultures are conscious about the world, we probably wouldn't use the word conscious. It's very much about the environment, it's very much about nature, it's human connection. Indigenous cultures really embrace that, and it's part of what we believe, what life is all about. So, for me, just kind of surrounding myself with like-minded people, allowing myself to grow, not grow as in profit growing, but growing as a person, finding ways of connecting with my inner self. It's something that then pushed me to do the Kure Kure tour, was part of me starting to question things that I was seeing around me. And
sorry, Anna, this is your one-woman tour, that you did later on.
That's right. So I would say probably, this goes back 2016 when I really started thinking a little bit deeper about what is this all about? What does it mean? And part of my leadership, I suppose, skills and is to share that knowledge with everybody, but also for me with the younger generation. It's just now that it's starting to happen, where I see the young people that I've influenced are now starting to take their own step with that consciousness of thinking of what it means to be part of this world and connecting with the beliefs that I kind of share as well. So it's something that I've grown up with, that is the same with the saying we have in Africa, that it takes a community to bring up a child. And this thinking that I'm the mother, I'm the father, nobody else has a say in how my child is brought up is dangerous. It's so bad. I had an event last night that I attended online, and they were talking about this very thing, about conscious thinking. So much so that one lady was talking about her experience of going to Brazil, to the indigenous people of Brazil, and one elder in Brazil saying, "What is it about the Western culture that wants to kill their own mother?" And I felt that was such deep words about how we are unaware. We've stopped ourselves to be aware of this thing we have that is compassionate, that is passionate, that is that is not driven by money or positions, because all those things don't matter. What matters is how you connect with other people, how you are within the environment, how you contribute to making this world a better place. So that's where I'm at with my leadership skills at the moment.
Yes, you had goosebumps earlier. I have them now.
Your turn.
And I really, really love the story. If you say, okay, well, I'm a father, but I cannot do it alone. I need the mother, but I also need other people to raise the child. And but if I'm really honest, I'm also a Western guy, and so it was sometimes more, well, don't say anything about my child. And when I hear you now, then I think, well, that was a missed opportunity for me, and to be open for that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So I thank you for that already. That's great.
Oh no, it's for me, growing up in Rugari Township, Rugari Township is I suppose what they would call a ghetto, but the respect for adults was you didn't need to wait for your mother to find you being naughty, because the neighbor will sort you out. And once your mother finds out, your mother is going to sort you out as well. So again, the thing is, we all chip in, we all help each other, we all support each other, and and grow together. Let's grow together at the same time and support each other when we're in need, when we're feeling down. When you are doing well, I can do well too. So that's my approach to how I work with my music and my organization.
Nice. Yeah, and when you then when we go back to the ancestor energy, you know, how you connect, like you said, you feel your grandmother, your grandfather still with you as such. And I know you wrote a beautiful song about your grandmother as well a few years ago. And is this energy is still with you? Do you find that when you make decisions in your projects, or do you still consult them? Or
I'm still guided. I'm still very much guided, and I mean, you can't just make a decision without thinking it through. So between my ancestors and my grandparents who I consult with, I've also discovered meditation, you know, that quiet time, that the time you just spend on your own, it's just quiet. We've been missold the idea that, you know, you have to have music, you have to have sound, you have to have, you know, lots of people around you talking, you have to be hearing sound. I find that quiet time when I start using other parts of my mind that are usually shut because we're so busy, you know, life is so busy. I want to allow time now, because that 10 minutes that I actually spend quiet and connecting with my inner self is when I hear the voice that is guiding me. Is when I have time to really take that deep breath. You can feel it going all the way down into your body. You can feel yourself expanding with the breath, and okay, I'm ready. I can start making a decision that I know is gonna be the right decision.
Yeah, beautiful. And because a lot of people think if once you reached, well, let's say some kind of level of consciousness or awareness, that you don't have any issues anymore in your life. But there are still, you need to make choices at certain moments. And then you need to step out of this rat race that we sometimes call it, and go back to yourself. And do you remember maybe that you got a really good opportunity business-wise, a lot of money maybe, but you had to make a decision, shall I do it or not?
Last week.
Yes. And then can
Yes.
you describe a little bit the process? Because I think that's so important for people to understand, that it's not always easy, but the answer is here inside of us, not out.
So I will just take you back a little bit, because, you know, being an artist, you're always chasing the next dollar, the next pound. So, you know, everybody's phoning and telling you how much they love your music, how much they would like you to come and do this event, but, you know, there's no money. Can you come, you know, drive for 6 hours and we'll give you some food. Now, there was a time when I was very comfortable doing that, and for me, that's the conscious decision was, I'm in a place, I'm new, I need for people to know my name. And then there was also a time quite recently where, a big offer came in, and I had to say no, because it was a time when I'm now starting to think of the next show that I want to do. How much time do I really need to spend on my own to make that show the best show that there is? When I step on that stage, I don't want to say, oh, I couldn't spend enough time researching and really connecting with that story because I was busy trying to chase the next dollar. It's not about that anymore.
No.
It has to be because you want to give the best that you can in the whatever work you do. You can't give 30%, you can't give 50%. When I stand on that stage, no matter what, it could be royalty, it could be, my friends, it could be the next person that I've just met. I want to give you 100% of that show.
Yeah.
And I can't do it when I'm pulling here and I'm pulling there. So actually, my passion is the music. And of course, money comes in, but money has to come in when I'm satisfied that what I'm doing, I'm still really, really passionate about it.
Yeah, I really, really love this. And I just, everything that can be taken away from you, like a house, a car, and money, for instance. Well, I don't say money is wrong. It can help you. But if that is the driver to do things, then you forget yourself. You forget the passion. You forget to listen to your heart. And there will come a time that, well, God or whoever it is will help you to take a step back, to settle down and to slow down, because
we need we need to take a step back, and I feel perhaps this opportunity which happened without nobody expecting it. I say opportunity, maybe that's the wrong word. Something stopped us in our tracks.
Yep.
Mother Nature just said, I've had enough.
Yep.
You've treated me like this, you've done this, you're not listening.
Yeah.
And she spoke and she just put her foot down. You can't keep sucking from my energy. You can't keep taking. You're not going to take anymore. And I love Mother Nature, because whatever we think we're invincible and we've got all these nice guys and we keep digging from her, we keep taking from her, but we can't take anymore. That has given people time to just stop and realize that, actually, I'm not a consumer of the world. I'm a giver of the world. And there is a difference there, because a consumer is somebody who just takes. And we've been misold that that's what we should be. You should have a new mobile phone every time a new mobile phone comes out. You should be driving this. You should be. The difference with that, when you look at indigenous communities, for instance, where I grew up in Zimbabwe, life insurance is unusual, people live their life for now.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of mindfulness that is part of our culture. And I don't know if that's kind of something that we're conscious about. But I love that feeling of just living for now. Whereas if you look in the West, what causes people perhaps to be really closed up is because you're thinking of the house insurance, the car insurance, this insurance, that insurance, the mortgage, and the list just goes on, and you're just working and working to pay for those insurance just in case something happens. Something might happen, something might not happen.
Oh, Anna, we need to go and come together soon again. I know we're already heading towards half an hour. I'm looking at Anna's time as well. I just want to ask Anna if she can tell us more about, for example, a bit about the Embira, and a bit about your show, and a bit about the foundation.
Yeah,
that would be really lovely to hear.
Okay. So the Embira is, let me show you. This is what the Embira looks like. And it sits on a wooden board made from the Mumvamaropa tree. And the keys aligned so that you've got the bass, you've got the medium keys, and you've got the high keys. And we play Embira music is so important to the Shona people of Zimbabwe. And we play it to honor our ancestors. Now we're going back to that conscious thinking. Embira allows conscious thinking because when you play Embira, for me, it cleanses the soul. And in Zimbabwe, we have ceremonies which are called Bira, and every family will have a Bira ceremony. And that's where you go and you honor the ancestors. That's where you go and you be vulnerable and you cry and you laugh and you eat and you dance and you... When you live a Bira, you're a different person because you've connected again with your people, with your music, with your culture, with the food. And for me, a Bira ceremony ticks so many boxes that I kind of, when I play the music, even here in England, you see the response that people get. Some people can't connect with it at all. And some people just start crying. The sound of the Embira is so powerful that I cannot explain it. You need to hear the Embira. You need to... The question is always as well with some audiences in the West is, but I don't know where the one is. You don't need to know where the one is on Embira. You need to feel the music. Forget the one. So, it's a powerful tool. And I'm grateful that the world of people who've connected with Embira music give it so much respect. It's our religious music. So before any religion ever came to what is now Zimbabwe, this is the music that we played. This is the music we used to connect. And it's, I cannot talk about Embira enough, about the benefits, the healing. We need to heal, and we all need to
wow.
Yeah, but I can feel it also, Anna. It's the passion and the love you have. You talk about this. I can feel it. It's over. Yeah, thank you. Wow.
Yeah, and
can I sign up for that?
Anybody can sign up. I'm having a wonderful journey with an 8-year-old at the moment who has decided she wants to learn to play the Embira, and she was her father was my mentor, and for me, it's seeing that generation coming back. That is just really amazing to be going through. So the next question is my charity, which I set up in 2011. So the charity, we work in 5 schools in Zimbabwe, and we fundraise for school fees for orphans and now disadvantaged children as well to go to school. Again, I had that conscious decision in 2001 when I visited Zimbabwe when my mom was sick and she suddenly passed away. That part of this education and sharing heritage is to give back to that heritage that gave you what you're sharing. So I started being aware that it was all very well being an artist, living I suppose you would say that I'm living in a privileged country and I'm sharing this music and my heritage. But I wanted that music and the way that I share it to give back to the community, to the culture, to the country that had given me the music. So that's how the Mudeka Foundation was set up. So the music festival I do on the farm where I live is to raise money so that these children can go to school. They don't have to be turned away from school. And since 2011, we've built a borehole, we've built classrooms and toilet blocks and assembly points. And also we started a feeding program at one of the schools. So until COVID hit, since 2015, we've been feeding 350 children a day at one of the schools. And then we realized that wasn't sustainable. So we're now on the journey to make a project that's sustainable for the school, which is a vegetable project and a poultry project. So that's those are the two things I'm focusing on this year, and also the sanitary project to spread it into the wider community, because it's not just the girls at the school that don't have the access, but the mums at home as well. So yes, so my music in the UK is so that I can also benefit the women and children in Zimbabwe.
And where can people find out, Anna, about your work, and how if they maybe want to read up more about it?
So we have a website, which is themudekafoundation.org.
We'll put it underneath also in our in the comments for people to have a look at.
Yes.
I wish you every success, Anna, and I still have the dream to come and visit the school one day. It would be just
I would really love for you to come and visit. We invite people to come and see what we're doing, because at the end of the day is I'm very fortunate to have a team in the foundation who are as passionate as me, and saw the vision and the dream that I had. So far, we've had 4 young people join the team who I taught drumming, when they were in primary school, and they're now coming back to the foundation to work and help this vision grow. So I suppose for the first time since I started the foundation, that's when I'm kind of feeling, okay, this baby is growing now. This baby is getting big. I can let go a little bit, because I've got the most amazing team. Absolutely, so grateful to have everybody.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. Your energy has always been contagious, so I'm sure. And your humility is still with that, and your compassion and your passion is there, and people just it's like a magnet. They can relate and want to build a community around that. That's what you do. You do very good at that.
Oh, thank you. And I must tell you about the one woman show as well, because that was, I'd done band music since I came here. I've always had 5-piece, 7-piece bands, and that was really good fun. Everybody was happy, coming, dancing. Our audience call it sunshine music, because you go away and you feel like you've had a dose of sun in your body. And then I started thinking to myself, what is this all about? It's good that we make people happy, but what message are we trying to put across? What can people go away and say, oh, I learned this about this culture? So I suppose, 2016 was a difficult year for me as well. It was a really, really challenging, sad year. And I just pulled back from music completely, because I wasn't enjoying it. There was things that were happening in my personal life that just made me very, very teary, and felt I wasn't really giving 100% in all the things I was doing. So again, that's when I discovered meditation as well. And I stepped back from the world and found myself. So through finding myself, 8 months of not doing music, and I started questioning, who am I? What is the whole purpose of being on this earth? What am I doing? Okay, I'm a mother, I'm a musician, I'm this, but there must be something else. So that's when I started researching my origins. Of course I'm Anna, but what else? And I was able to trace my ancestors from 8,000 years ago to modern day Zimbabwe. And it was a revelation, because these are the oral traditions we'd been told. We know that we're part of this amazing migration that happened from Central Africa. But for me, I wanted to understand, how does it match with science? So the show starts off with this journey of my ancestors from the Tanganyika and what was then Baka tribal regions, now modern day Cameroon and Tanzania. And it tells about this journey because we followed the fish eagle, which is the emblem of the flag of Zimbabwe. And where it landed was where the stones were laid, the foundations of the greatest empire in the Southern African region, which was Zimbabwe. That's where the name of our country comes from. And when I then did my DNA, because my show starts with the ancestors and it finishes with science, bang on. Everything we'd been told was in that DNA of where this lineage had come from. And I just couldn't believe it. It was just a big revelation. But it was also trying to make sense of living in two cultures. You might have experienced it as well, Claudia, Ture as well. When you live in two cultures and you're still trying to hold on to this culture that is in your DNA, into your breathing, your thinking, you are part of another culture. How do you keep both cultures at peace?
Yeah.
And so that was why I needed to do the story, but to also say to the wider world that this is who I am. Look where I've come from. Look at this rich history of these ancestors and things that we've been through. Of course, you see me walking in the streets wearing the Western clothes, but deep down this skin, there is Africa through and through.
Yeah, and that story, of that show, I've seen you've sent me the link online. Unfortunately, I was not able to go and see the show, but oh my gosh. And also about, of course, the things that have been happening with the Western people coming and the colonization and taking away things out of your country. On an energetic level, the effect on that also in your culture. And there is so much more to tell about this story, Anna, and thank you for that. It's just, I remember what it did with my heart and my spirit when I heard you say all these things, and it was like phenomenal. So thank you for also bringing that into the awareness, because I think that is something that very few people have done in the way you have done it.
Absolutely. But for me, it was very much about showing people what Zimbabwe is about, what I am about. And the amount of people who came and said, we didn't know Zimbabwe was like that. We didn't know the history. We didn't know that, we'd we'd gone over there and caused so much, kind of discomfort, I suppose. But it's, I want people to know what it's like.
Yeah. It's not about blaming and finger pointing. It's just about saying how it is and where
it was. Thank you so much for saying that, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to say, this is how it is. Sometimes, people will say, how did you end up here? Well, where do I start? Yeah. Do I start with the aeroplane when I caught the plane, or do I start with when Cecil Rhodes came to Zimbabwe? Yeah. But in a way, it's we followed it up with a discussion afterwards, we opened it up because I thought to myself, okay, people will have questions about what they've just seen. So let's open it up and have an open discussion. And I think that's missing at the moment, especially in the Western world, an open discussion. Not blame, not you did this, you did that. No, just have an open discussion so that people, the public can understand a little bit. Because when they see me on the street, they see color first. And did I come as a refugee? Did I come? How did I end up here? It always conjures these questions, you know, what am I doing here? Who am I? But actually, if you start having open discussions, people can really start to understand and appreciate and really bring their focus into the other person's way of life. My next show is going to be Tell Me Your Story, full stop.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Beautiful, you know, and I say we, but the whole world can learn so much from Africa. And I love the saying from Africa. It's so simple, but so profound. I am because we are. And that's so true.
Well, the Zulu is umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. A person is a person because of other people.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Say no more.
That is so true. That is so true. And I love that one. I was really inspired. And as you well know, in 2018, I went to South Africa to one of the caves to do ceremony there with some of the indigenous grandmothers of the world, and to sit in the womb of Africa almost was like one of the most profound experiences in my life. And I'm still very grateful for Mother Earth to give us that experience, and as I am every day. So it's been an honor listening to you, and we could talk on for hours. And I really suggest that one day you come back and share some more in depth about your next tour, or you know, or about the school, or keep us updated on what's happening. We would love that.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
And is there anything else that you would like people who, because, you know, we will put this also on video on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. So is there anything that you'd like people to know about your future plans, other things that we've maybe missed today? Or
I'm just, you know, part of the lockdown was to also an opportunity to get really creative again. So I've been writing new songs which are going to be released all the way through next year, and I was just so excited to have time to sit and write and compose. That's something that's really echoed with a lot of my musician friends, and then using a different approach as well, in terms of how the music is put together. It's going to be completely different from how I've done it in the past. We are also starting to research the next one-woman show, which will hopefully tour May to July next year.
Nice. Wow. Wonderful.
Yes.
Wow, it's been just so wonderful, and I wish you every success, and with preparing all that and the creative flow. May it flow just as you wanted to, and maybe be supported in all kind of ways. And
thank you so much.
I can totally hear and feel now what Claudia's telling about you, and it was really an honor to speak with you and listen to you. And thank you so much. Thank you.
And yeah.
Well, thank you for this opportunity. It's your work. Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Our joy. And, well, we look forward to seeing you again, Anna. And I just wanted to add also something that I didn't introduce you as, that you are the mother of two beautiful daughters. And they also do some amazing work. I don't know if there's a little bit you want to say about that, about perhaps the project that's one of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is also.
So my youngest, and her name is Kali, and she started a campaign in the UK for charities to make the first Afro wigs for children with hair loss from illness. And I don't think I had that energy when I was 10, but she's really passionate about equality and people hearing her voice. Yes. And she's got a very amazing, supportive sister who, you know, they talk and they ask each other advice, and now they're sharing, you know, they share so much, but it's just a blessing to have such wonderful young women kind of following in this amazing lineage from, you know, from my ancestors. I can see the, you know, the DNA is still flowing strong.
Well, wonderful. And if there is a link for that, of that charity or whatever she's still raising funds for, please send that to me, Anna, as well, and we can mention that in the comments as well. People want to have a look at that as well. All right.
Lovely.
Well, thank you so much. We won't take any more of your time because we've gone way over our time, and I know you're so busy and you've got other things going on, but it's an honor and it's been such a delight. Yes. And my heart is full, as always, after having talked to you, and I'm so glad you both met as well.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Thank you for everybody who's watching, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We look forward to seeing you again, Anna.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Anna. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Meeting for long. Do you need to do something with it? Still on Facebook? Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.